Let's jump back to the calendar and review what we've done and see if there's anything left to do. So we've added a link to the taxonomy terms for the tour types, so we can click on these to view a list of the content that matches these items. And we've linked up each one of these guide references with the node that they reference. So instead of having a plain text field, these reference the pages. And again, the advantages to these are that we're not only referencing the node and creating this link for free, but if any changes are made to the data in these nodes, then it will automatically cascade to the reference too. So for example, if we misspelled Phil here and we respelled it correctly, that change would cascade up and it would change here as well. So the one item we have left, let's go ahead and look at our mockup again. We have links for the title, for the tour type, and for the guide, but for location, we still have plain text. So what would be the best option here? Should we use a node reference and create nodes for each one of these locations? Or should we use a taxonomy with a vocabulary and terms? For this situation, because we don't have any data specifically for a location, it might make sense to simply use terms and group the items together. Also, if you look at the notes here, it says that this goes to a list of all content matching the location. So that's what we saw over in tour type, so we can simply mimic this by making location a vocabulary and making this a term reference. So let's go through the process of doing that. We'll move a bit more quickly because we've done this before, but it will help anchor what you've learned already about taxonomy and term references. Okay, our first step is to create a vocabulary. I'm going to jump back to the browser. Let's go ahead and click on Structure. Let's click on Taxonomy. And let's click on Add Vocabulary. The name is going to be Locations. Let's go ahead and click on Save. And let's do something a little different this time. Instead of adding all of our terms now, let's go ahead and make the widget that's being used for the taxonomy term reference an autocomplete, which will allow us to add new terms to this vocabulary as we edit, so inline. And let's go ahead and go through the process and see what exactly that means. So now we have our vocabulary. We can go ahead and add a term reference field to our tour content type. So let's go back to Structure. And let's click on Content Types. And let's click on the Manage Fields next to the tour content type. And we're going to add a new field here. We'll call it Location, just like we did with our previous location field. We'll call it Location Reference. And for field type, again, we're going to select Term Reference. And as the widget this time, let's go ahead and select Autocomplete Term Widget. And notice this says Tagging. And let's go ahead and click Save. We have some options here. For the vocabulary, let's leave it at Locations and click Save Field Settings. We'll go through the options here. We'll leave the label as is, leave required field unchecked, and help text blank. I'm going to scroll down. Now this is a preview of our field, how it's going to look, and notice that we have this circle here. And if we start typing, like if I start typing Zimbabwe, you see that briefly it turns to blue and starts rotating. That means that it's searching the database for any matches. Since there aren't any terms yet, nothing is going to show up. So let's go ahead and leave this blank. And under Field Settings, we want the number of values to be 1. Let's go ahead and save the settings.